Record. All right, folks, welcome to our weekly football review with a hint of blue cheese on top of it for you guys. Let me introduce you to the guys. The guys are going to all say hello. Go ahead, Addy. Say hello.
Oh, I'm Hadi. Hey, what's up?
What's up? And we got Dirk on the streets there. Dirk, say hello to the folks.
Dirk, but all my good friends and my nom de guerre is Dirkinho. Peace,
Right,
live from New York.
Excellent. Thank you for that. So the topic that we're going to start off today was one that we had a little bit of discussion about regarding VAR, its implication in the new season. There's approximately nine. Let me invite one more person on. There's approximately 10 to 9 games left in the Premier League season. There is talk and problems of the implementation of VAR. And so I'm going to throw this topic to you guys. First part of it, they're saying that VAR is going to be difficult to implement. Simple reason is that it's a room with a lot of people, at least a minimum of 2 to 3 people monitoring, even though there's one head referee. There's no major form of isolation in Stockley Park. So in other words, as the games go on, each referee or each VAR referee for a game must be in a room with monitors. In the next room, there's another referee with monitors. In another room, there's another referee with monitor. And it's just not the referee. There's a referee and 2 assistants to aid them to be able to visually bring back information, what they want to see it again. So with that and having that said, there's a talk that VAR does not help social distancing. So should VAR be implemented for the final 9 games? Haji?
Well, I don't know. From my standpoint, I don't think those are the problems of the VAR. Like, I think VAR has 2 main problems in terms of the stadium, or the fans that are at the stadium, since they can't see what's going on. They don't have a team that's showing them a replay or what's going on. And the second thing is that I've noticed the last few games where the VAR was implemented, Maradona, let's go. Look at Dirk. And Cruyff. Where are you, man?
Where are you?
Who is this guy?
We don't want to know.
Fergie.
It's just see if you guys can look. It's like a little indoor place here
Nice.
that these French guys created. That's obviously closed now.
Right.
But yeah, he's got Diego and Cruyff and Sir Alex. And help me out here, guys. I know this is a little off topic, but who is this guy here?
Is that Van Basten? No, that's not Van Basten. Hold on.
No.
That's what's the name of the defender that was with Maldini?
Oh, you mean it begins with B. What's his name? Baresi.
Yeah. Baresi.
Is that Baresi?
That's Baresi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is Baresi, yeah.
Good job, guys.
So yes, Hadi, as you were saying.
Yeah, and the second thing is that I've noticed that the ref isn't necessarily, like, he just waits for the VAR ruling rather than looking at the monitor himself as well.
Not the kid.
And I feel like that's a big part of it. Like, the ref himself, who was confused about the play, who was on the grounds, who pretty much saw at least part of it, can also have, like, he can use it. Like, the way they use it in the NBA and the way they use it in the NFL. Like, the ref that's on the field and on the pitch
goes to the sideline.
Look at it as well. You know what I mean? Not just because I genuinely, the first time I thought that refs were in the room is when you said it. I didn't think they were refs.
Yeah, they were refs. They are refs.
Yeah, they're horrible at their job. They're horrible.
So you believe, you're the concept that VAR in Stockley Park for the next 9 games should be abolished and the referee should just use the side?
I don't mind VAR in World Cups or Olympic Games. In leagues, on the other hand, I would.
No, but time out though.
Go ahead.
I think that's taking it like a different issue though, right? Because to me, it's about consistency. You can't have the league be under one rule and then change it to a different way. I mean, what's the stats here about how many games were affected by VAR rulings, right?
A lot.
Already. So I
True,
don't.
true.
Listen. If
I
I
would-
had
I
my
would-
choice, I wouldn't have VAR. Period. But because the league started with VAR, it's
No, I
been
mean the season with it. I
effective.
don't
They have to find a way to use it.
But gentlemen, the question is this: we have 9 games left. VAR cannot guarantee social distancing. So should they abolish it for the last 9 games?
No, but they can do testing of the people that are in there. I mean, look, how are players? The players aren't going to have social distancing on the field either. And what are they going to do? They're going to do testing before game, after games. It's just, I think that's a weak excuse. You're asking the players to go out and put their lives on the line, and their
So,
health,
like, in
but
how
not
long-
some referees.
the
Make
results
them,
actually
you know.
a couple of days anyway. So basically, what they've been doing is that they've been testing people, and then after they test, they have them self-isolate. They get the results, and then you know what I mean. So that's probably
So-
what they're going to do for the players and the refs and all those people that are involved in terms.
And now the self-isolation is what, 14 days?
Technically, yes. That's if
After the
if you
testing.
are asymptomatic. If you are asymptomatic and positive, what I've seen healthcare institutions do is that they keep a guy for a 2-week quarantine if he's positive. If he's negative, right, like just self-isolate from other people.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like, so for example, the way I see it playing out in the league is that they would have, like, let's say for instance, they would test me and you. We're both on the same team, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm negative, you're negative, right? But they would we would be self-isolated until we had to perform. So we know for sure that I'm negative. We know for sure you're negative.
Right.
And whoever tests negative in terms of the staff and the other players, and then they'll allow everybody to meet up because then everybody's negative or everybody has tested negative.
So that's probably what they've done for the German Bundesliga.
I'm sorry?
That's probably what they've done for the German Bundesliga.
Yeah, true. I mean, they nipped it in the butt quite early. Like them in Korea and those guys, they really went hard. So like.
Okay,
What?
so let's get a consensus here. Dirk, do you believe that VAR should continue for the last 9 games?
Yes, absolutely.
Same.
Hattie, okay, I am in agreement. They should find ways and implementations to be able to find a way.
Is Ship on this thing? I kind of hear him trying to talk.
I am on this thing, but I'm trying to figure out why my video is not working.
Have you gone slightly to the left? Have you gone to the left and touched the camera?
I've done the camera is part of my the computer, and it was working last week, and I don't know why it's not working. So I am listening intently.
Okay, good.
I'm trying to figure out where what is happening with my camera.
All right,
There's
Chef.
some-
Let's have Chef's opinion on VAR for the last 9 games.
I think you have to be consistent in the last 9 games.
True.
But at the same time, like you don't have consistency because you have the home and away thing, and without fans in the stadiums, you already have a disadvantage. So you've already changed the rules of the game. I'm a personal fan of VAR. I think we should have VAR. I think England has implemented it badly. I think it should be up to the ref on the field. They should have a little camera.
100%.
They should have a little camera. I think offsides and obvious calls, and the ref should go check out his little video camera on the screen, and he should be the one making the ruling.
Yeah.
I think the problem is when you have 2 different refs making the ruling.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think Ship makes a good point. Maybe that's how they fix the social distancing. Just let the ref make the call. Because Ship does make a good point. Things are already going to be changed in certain ways, right? Based on the home, like the fans' point, and also, I mean, the longer this goes on, and there's a distance that there is, the more, the continuity issue becomes one, right? If this is still part of the same season or not.
I hear you. Hattie,
Mhm.
your final say on the topic of VAR for the final 9 games of the season.
I mean, for the final 9 games, I think, yes, like consistency for the season. We started the season with it. We should end the season with it. I'm not a fan of VAR in general.
Okay, fair enough.
Really? Like, at least, what about offsides?
Even
No,
offside.
but what is the offside rule for
Because
VAR?
even on the
Yeah.
offside, because the problem is that they're looking through frames.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
the
you-
worst part.
It's moving through frames, right? You're offside on one, and you're not offside on the other. Which
Yep.
frame are you looking at?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and it's getting ridiculous where it's like just an inch offside, they call it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Right.
but
mean-
what is fair is fair. I think it's better
No,
we
but-
work within the
But see,
rules of the
but see,
game.
okay,
Shiv,
but see,
I'm
that's
going to say
different.
something. Right. It has not been fair. Speak to Sheffield Wednesday. Speak to Norwich.
True.
A lot of teams have been caught out by unnecessary nonsense for it. Until Watford beat Liverpool, there was a point where Wolves had Liverpool, pardon my language, by the balls. And the fact that that VAR really did bail them out.
Again, I think we're talking about different things here, right? Like, I'm just talking about just the offside rule. Do
Yes,
the
but the
rules of the
offside
game
rule is
matter?
so subjective. It should never be.
Yeah.
But then certain rules are not subjective. Offside is not a subjective thing.
Yeah, it is.
but that's
It
the thing.
is.
No, the rules of the game when it comes to offsides are not subjective. If you make them subjective, right, then you have the if you have the technology to make the rules non-subjective. Okay, I'm going to bring up cricket here. In cricket, there's
Oh my
something called
God.
LBW. This is especially for John, right? It has made the game so much better because it's taken away the variance of different empires.
Yeah.
Yes,
But,
you're
but
right.
no, but the thing is that you're not having, in regards to the VAR offside rule, you're still having people look at it. The fact that people are looking at it, and people can look at two different frames and disagree on if someone is offside or not. That
Haji,
Yeah,
makes
but
it,
isn't
yeah,
that
no.
better
Haji,
than
I
some
got this.
random
Haji,
dude?
wait, Shiv, give me a moment. The truth of the matter is that cricket is more static than football. Football is actually a flowing, continuous sport. So bringing that regarding the LBW of a cricket is neither here nor there, to be honest, because the guy who's batting is almost static, and if he gets legged before wicket, he's out. And it can be easily done in cricket than it can in football, because the thing of the football is the
no. I think the offside rule is much more black and white
on.
than the LBW, because the offside, either you're offside or you're not. They're drawing the lines.
But Shiv, there's different degrees too. And
Yeah.
look, maybe you like. I think it's insane to go through this like quest for perfection. And you know that
I don't
I'm
want
okay living
perfection.
without. Yeah, but you do. If like that's what the offside rule is. Like you get the littlest inch part of a feet or an elbow, they call it offside, which
Offside,
is
yeah.
crazy.
But that's part of
You know,
but
No, it's
but
not.
but the
No,
thing
it's
is,
not. It doesn't have to.
hold-
It's part
hold
of
on.
it's part of the VAR. They wouldn't be able to make those calls without VAR.
yeah, but how do you know they wouldn't have made the same call with or without VAR? In
No,
VAR,
doesn't
because
matter. Maybe
VAR
they
makes
do
it
make
hold
the
on, let me
precise.
finish. Let me
It
finish.
doesn't matter.
I'm getting ganged on up out here, but even
Because you're bringing up cricket, man.
okay,
And Hadi and I are like, what? At least I am.
okay.
You lost
Yeah.
half of our audience. with
well,
this
I know that
podcast.
the bat is made out of what's it called, guano, bat shit.
Okay, right.
You're swinging-
All right.
yeah.
All right. I'm the
Right.
moderator. I'm the
Let
moderator.
Shiv finish. Let Shiv finish.
We've used that subject. We've done that subject. Let's now move on to a second subject of the night.
Huh?
The second subject of the night was questions which was sent to all of you, and it's regarding Pochettino and Allegri. First part of the question: of the two of them, who do you think will return to work first? And I'll give that question first to Hadi because he came on the podcast first. Go ahead, brother.
Hadi.
Dun dun dun. I want Max Allegri to get a job first, but I know Pochettino is probably going to get a job first, and it may be the Man United job. I don't think he's going to go to Spain.
Okay, very good.
Either Spain or Manchester or Bayern.
Okay, very good. Let's go down to Dirk and ask Dirk the same question.
Okay, so here's the thing. Which two jobs are even going to be open up, right? For these
Very
two
good.
guys.
Excellent.
And I think and I'm breaking it down like this. I think it's going to be Juventus, right? Because Sarri's probably going to be gone, and Man City. Why? Based on the comment that John made about his mother, Pep's mother passing away, that it felt like his last year. We haven't seen a lot of Pep in the news. Things are already not going that great. This could be the scene that kind of says, hey, I'm going to take another sabbatical. I'm out of here. And I just think that job is probably more likely to open up than the Man United job. I mean, they could have fired Ole by now, and they still haven't. So what's going to change for them to fire him?
I think
He hasn't finished the question. The question is so you're saying Pochettino as well, or you're saying Allegri?
I'm saying that, I could see, this may not be the most sexiest thing, I could see Allegri even going back to Juve. Why? Because I think they're still paying him, technically.
Yes.
And Poch going to a City, or vice versa, or vice versa.
Okay. Let me throw that to Shifty. Shift, go ahead, brother.
I think the first job that's going to be who's the Bayern Munich coach right now?
It's
They just extended his contract, man.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to be about who opens first, and I don't even know who. I guess Italy's probably going to open first, right? Eventually.
What are you talking about?
Who's going to open first to
league.
play? Who's
Germany.
going to open?
No, Germany's going to be the first.
Germany's first. Yeah.
But Germany, the only place either of them would go is Bayern, and you just said he extended his contract. So it's going to be whoever's going to Juve. So I'd say Allegri. I don't think Poch is going anywhere outside England unless he goes to like Real or Barcelona. So I think Allegri will get a job in Italy first.
Okay.
But you see, but what jobs are actually going to be available?
Thank you. That was that was going to be my point. Go on.
So PSG, Tuchel hasn't renewed his contract yet, from what I understand. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then in England, there's Man City, possibly Man U, since they've been chasing both Allegri and Pochettino for the past 2 years. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Then Germany, I guess it depends on where Nagelsmann goes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he'd be the next hot thing on the scene, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the Bundesliga this year.
Okay.
He's definitely going to go to a bigger club, for sure.
Let me throw this at you guys and say this, that for the 2019-20 season, there will be no firings.
No.
I believe that because of this corona thing has happened, people are going to take what they have, whether they get promoted or relegated or moved or left or right and center, out of the 5 leagues, the 5 major leagues, which is the the Barclays Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, Bundesliga, or League One. They're all going to remain where they are until the season is finished. If they're able to finish it by the end of worst case scenario, July, start a transfer window, start up again in September, it will not be until January and the so-called winter transfer before any changes happens whatsoever. And I'm talking about even the possibility of Pep leaving, etc., here or there. How say you to that, first of all, Hadi?
That's a fair assessment. But also, I was just thinking just now, in terms of club football, that's one thing. But wasn't Pep offered the Brazil job 3 or 4 times already? Why as well? Why?
No, he was interested in it, and Brazil should have hired him, but he was never offered it, as far as I know.
I was reading a rumor mill. Never mind. I was like, he was never offered it. Yeah, my information was shoddy.
I don't think so.
No, because I think there's why aren't we considering national teams as well? Why? Because
the Euros and everything has been pushed to 2021.
Exactly. So if you have an extra year to work with a nationals team or squad,
who has the extra year? Allegri or Pochettino? Who has the extra year? There is no
Allegri does-
extra year. And I'm saying to you guys that it's not going to happen for them in the 2019-20 season. It's not going to happen for the two of
Yeah,
them.
I mean,
Okay,
what
so-
season? Wait. Are you
But
talking
we
about 2018, 2019, or 2019, 2020?
This season.
2019-2020.
You're saying-
the current season, man, the current season, which is fine. I don't think my response was assuming that was the case, and it was after the season that this would be done.
Yeah.
So
So you're saying, John, that neither one of them are going to get jobs until
no.
January of 2021?
If that, this coronavirus has changed the landscape. You understand? It was like, okay, well, the new two not hot shots managers, but the corona, I'm trying to tell you that what we have perceived, it has changed the landscape. So even the likes of, like, for example, David Moyes out of West Ham, it's not going to get fired. Whether they go up or go down, they can say it was circumstances because of the 9 games, getting the people fit, etc. and so forth. We've gone down, so they're not going to fire him. Every manager, theoretically, is safe.
I mean,
Go
to
ahead.
some degree, but
Dirk.
like, you have managers that were decent managers that were thrown out like after a couple of games, really. You know what I mean? Like there are managers that were proven in other leagues, came to the Premier League and just had 15.
And regarding Man City, before you got, I'm going to throw a cat among the pigeons. Man City job, if it's not going to go to Van Bronckhorst, it's going to go to the Ajax manager, what's his name again? I've got bloody hell.
Theo?
Hmm?
Theo?
Ajax manager. Ten Hag. Yep. Will be ideal suited for the Man City position rather than Pochettino. Shift, how say you to that?
I mean, I'm not sure. Like, honestly, I don't follow this enough to have an informed opinion.
Okay, fair enough. Dirk, how say you to that?
I don't know,
I'll
man,
stick to
like-
my end. I'll stick to my response.
Yeah.
There's
Okay,
these
fair
guys.
enough.
I got to think that there's been discussions already. These things don't get done overnight, you know. That if that Man City is probably already having those talks with Allegri and Poch, and maybe even Juve as well.
Okay. Why would you say Allegri will return to Juve?
Well, I just think that, you know, I think Juve is still paying his contract. I think he's still on the books there.
He is.
Italy has that weird thing where they have like, right, they're still on there.
He is.
And, you know, it's also assuming that Sarri shits the bag, which we all know he would, at
He
least
will.
in the Champions League.
Mhm.
And they haven't really been happy with him. And, you know, maybe they bring him back for that because he's a proven quality with them. So
Let me throw something else at you. Three major coaches who have returned have never been successful. One, Capello returning to Real Madrid was a disaster. Jose Mourinho returning to Chelsea ended up being a disaster. And 3, Van Gaal returning to Bayern Munich ended up being a disaster. So why would Allegri risk that chance? Why would Juve risk that chance?
Zidane to Real Madrid is still up there, right?
True, that's the only one thus far. But all
But-
it takes is for Man City to beat them.
I think mine, John, it was based on maybe like it would be a convenience sort of thing. You know, maybe they're going to be squeezed out. They want a sure thing. He's already in the books. Come home. But who knows? I don't think he wants to go back. Why would he want to go back? Right? He left for a reason.
I think he's more suited to, like, honestly, I thought he was gonna either when Poch was fired, I thought he was gonna take the Tottenham job. And
Allegri?
Yeah, Allegri. I thought he was either gonna go to Tottenham or Manchester, to be honest. You know, like I thought that's the direction. But when he didn't budge after and Jose took the Tottenham job, I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, at that point, I would have thought he would have gone for a job like that. New league would have an opportunity to build a team to some degree, because he did bring out the most out of his players, to be honest.
Who?
The problem with Allegri is that I think it was Osei Simba that mentioned,
Oh my God.
yeah, that it's
You
the
remember
concept.
that?
Yeah,
I
it's the
said you remember
concept
that.
of a Ferrari. Allegri is one of those Italians that he drives the Ferrari like a Fiat. That's the problem.
Hold on, didn't they say that about somebody else?
They did.
I've heard that quote before.
I thought it was Simba that mentioned it.
No, but I think that kind of criticism has been used against somebody else too. I just heard it recently. I'll try to think about it.
Well, like I said, because the thing is that
I think
Allegri,
it was Zlatan. Zlatan complained about Pep Guardiola.
Oh yeah.
He did.
Right.
Okay, but
Yeah.
but that doesn't ring bell, because we know that 2009 Barcelona was phenomenal. I've just finished I've been watching them all day. The last 2 days, I have. You know.
I guess from Zlatan's perspective.
Well, you know how I feel about Zlatan. I'm just going to say this and put it this way regarding Allegri and so forth. As being a pragmatic coach, it then does theoretically limited him, because Man City are not going to return to a pragmatic form of playing. Hence, that's why I believe that they will either take Giovanni Bronckhorst, who used to be Feyenoord's manager and now has been brought in. The moment he was brought in, Arteta was free to leave, and that's why Arteta left.
Didn't Van Bronckhorst also play under
Precisely. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. They'll move the assistant guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I could see that.
It's just that, like, I think like a manager such as, for instance, Tuchel would be better suited to Man City. I think Allegri is more of the person that would be able to, in terms of a team structure, would possibly be a United or a Chelsea side, to some degree a Tottenham side. Like I don't see Allegri coaching a team like Arsenal, for example. I see him coaching like a Man United or a Chelsea type.
All right,
team.
Gentlemen, as this is called a hint of blue cheese, someone brought up a little bit of Chelsea. So why don't we say two things? Do you believe that Allegri may be the future Chelsea manager in 2021-22? Shift.
Nope. I think we're sticking with Frank. We had one season with Hazard leaving and with no transfers. And Frank has done a good enough job, and I think he's going to give Frank at least 2 to 3 years.
Okay, very good.
Well, we got
Dirk. Same question.
I mean, we have Italian DNA, so you can never say no. And like you said, at least once this comes back, the pressure is going to be on Fat Frank. Well, depending how the transfer goes, I would say I could say probably there's a 60% chance he could be.
Okay.
60%.
I could see that.
Yep. All right, Hattie, you go ahead. Same question.
I still think that Frank is going to stay for a total of at least 3 years.
What?
But I think they're going to keep him for 3 years because of how much support he's getting for playing that much youth and youth development and all that stuff. Like it's a change that we like. Sarri didn't, Mourinho didn't. You know what I mean? So this is like new wave. The club fans are behind him, and like the hierarchy. He hasn't spent a dime basically in a year, like in comparison to the other guys spending on Morata or spending on Jorginho.
Hold on, time out. Pulisic is under him, right?
Sorry.
Oh, he never played under Sarri. Come on.
It doesn't
I know,
matter.
he's
He
never
was
backed up
purchased by the
Sarri.
previous administration.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. He still got his benefit of him.
Okay, let's put it this
With
way.
COVID,
Frank
That's
isn't
not
going
zero
anywhere.
money.
Unfortunately, whether fortunately or unfortunately, Frank is not going anywhere for a minimum of maybe 3 years. Simple
I
reason
disagree.
is that
I disagree.
the new
Okay, go ahead.
fair enough. You made your point. Now it's our point. The new transfer policy, how it's working under Marina, what she calls herself, is the
The
person
bond-
of doing how they do in Europe, where they purchase the players that they need way in advance before the season starts. So they're locked and separated. They will not, and this brings me to that second point. Who believes that Giroud should get a 3-year contract?
Nobody.
What? Nobody. Dirk, you brought this into the so-called podcast.
Yeah.
How say you to this?
Yeah, of course not. I don't even think he should get. I don't even think he should get a 1-year contract.
Fair.
Okay.
As good as he is.
This cat wants 3. Him and
we-
William, come on, man.
Dirk, you
There's
need to
gotta
change.
be. We're talking about like our talents. We gotta have somebody else other than Abram that can go in there and be a good striker.
I like Tammy. He's young.
Oh, he's young, but what if he's injured? We're stuck. Who else we got?
He also needs competition. He hasn't been producing the last 13 games or so.
Spot on.
Last- at
Spot
least,
on.
yeah.
Spot on.
He needs
Well,
to run.
what do you think? You think we should sign him, John?
Do I think we should sign Giroud for 3 years or for 1
Yeah.
year?
Either one.
1 year.
Yeah, I'm okay with him for 1 year. I like him. I just don't think he can stay healthy for 3 years.
Right, and we don't. Chelsea do not do after the age of 30. We do not do 3-year contracts, which is smart. We're not Arsenal. We're not going to do that nonsense that Arsenal have ever done. The mistake, unfortunately, that we did, we gave it to David Luiz, and look what happened at what's name at the end of the day. It's a sad state of affairs that it got to that stage, that it ended up being more of a culture, a personality clash with his former teammate than the greater good for Chelsea. And in doing so, he basically sunk Willian and his appeal. How say you to that, Haji?
Oh, no, I 100% agree with you.
Wait,
Dirk?
what happened between Luis and Willian? What am I missing?
No,
Okay.
nothing.
He's saying between him and Frank.
It was
Oh.
the way that David Luiz left Chelsea and his clash with Frank and
Okay.
other members of the team, I guess. So that kind of screwed Willian over in terms of renewing his stuff. And
Okay.
No, William wants 3 years.
he wants 3
He
years,
wants-
but give him 3 years.
Yeah, but I don't think David was asking for 3. David got 2 years.
No,
Because
David.
even then,
David was the first one that were looking at the consideration of giving 3 years. He
Yep.
actually got the 2 years. Fat Frank never got 2 years when he asked for it. He got 1 year after 1 year after 1 year. John Terry got 1 year after 1 year after 1 year. David was the first one that they gave straight 2 years to.
yeah, exactly. So it would make
And-
sense for William to be happy with getting 2 years. Now he's pushing it for 3 years.
He did, and it didn't work out. Now they don't want him. He made the negotiation, ruined it. And I've been saying it for a long time. Look, I get it. I understand it. Because when William leaves, when Dirk returns,
I'm here.
there
I'm
you
here.
are. When William leaves, that'll be end of the Brazil. You know that theoretically, since 2003, there has been a Brazilian player of some quality at Chelsea.
Yep.
And that was the beginning of Roman's regime. Once William leaves, that's the end of an era of almost approximately how many years? 10, 14 years.
We can't allow that to happen. They need to go out and sign some new players on the window.
It's not a case of
They need some more Brazilians, man.
Not the case.
They need that samba. I wouldn't be a Chelsea fan if it wasn't for all the Brazilians. They gotta bring
So,
them.
Dirk, if we have no Brazilians, do you stop being a Chelsea fan?
Of course not. But I think Chelsea will go out there are already rumors that they're looking after some Brazilians.
Do you know?
So I think they'll get somebody else. And Ziyech's basically Brazilian, right?
Do you know
Sure, Morocco, Brazilian.
why
I mean,
the concept of the fact that after X amount of years, I mean, apart from the agent of Coutinho trying to get Coutinho in, that Chelsea has now moved away from trading in the South American market?
not necessarily. I mean, like, we still have like, what's the name of that lone player that we have playing in Brazil? We still have we still have Brazilians on the book.
It's not the same as the first
Well, I
team
mean-
starting. You know, we have Kennedy, we have actually four. We have Wallace, we
Hold
have
on.
Kennedy, but it's not the same as a lone player. I'm talking about first team starter.
Okay.
Once William goes, it's the end. The first team starter was Alex.
Well, Jorginho too. Jorginho's Brazilian.
Well,
Wait,
Jorginho,
He bleeds
represents
Hold on,
Italy.
supposedly he spoke English with Sarri. He didn't even speak Italian with him.
What I'm trying to
see that?
say is that when
And
you're
they're-
because remember, we're marketing. We are dealing here in this season shirts, among
Yeah.
other things. So we're not just that, we're also marketing. Once William has moved, where goes that? I'll throw it to Shifts. How say you to this?
I'm sorry. I say like once Willian moves, we don't have any Brazilians. I think that'll be a sad thing. I do enjoy all the Brazilians we've had to play with. But
You know,
like I think we are moving more towards like a faster midfield with less flair. Like we have Pulisic, Ziyech.
Oh my god.
But who's
Pulisic doesn't even play. He scored 3 goals against Bournemouth.
okay?
He hardly ever plays
All right, but that's because he's been injured. But he's going to be there.
because he's been injured all season. How is he even getting injured? He's not even getting injured on the field in game. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
He's
I
like
think-
a little toothpick. We
I mean,
gotta
look-
sell him.
You don't like Pulisic? The American Hawk?
I think that's what happens when you go out and buy players based on marketing alone. And that's what the thing with Pulisic was. It was based on the American market. And it's how's it working out on the pitch?
all right, let me throw
This
this
would have
at
been
you
his
then.
year.
Gentlemen, let me
Way.
throw this question at you. Do you think the American market is more lucrative than the Brazilian market and having Brazilians? Wait for it. Haji, go first.
I don't understand the question.
The question is, do you believe the concept that the American market is more lucrative than the Brazilian market? Hence, that's the need why, A, we got Pulisic, and in doing so, our transfer policy has changed, and so we don't need to be targeting the South American market. Go ahead.
No, I don't think that was the reason we bought those players, though. Like, I think the reason that we got Pulisic was different than the reason that we got any Brazilian player. Brazilian players, we got them because they can ball. Like,
True.
they can consistently ball, right? Like, from Alex in the early noughties to Willian now, to Kennedy, to Ramirez, to Oscar, all those guys can play ball. The reason that Pulisic was bought, he's a decent player, right? But I think the reason that he was bought was the same reason that Man United bought Park Ji-sung. They wanted to sell more jerseys.
Okay. All right. So again, I asked the question. The question is, marketing-wise, do you think that targeting a market and a product like Pulisic at the expense of getting South American players, i.e. Brazilians, on board is a wise decision?
Well, here's the thing. Just even talking about marketing, I don't think it's between the Brazil versus the U.S. market, right? Pulisic is only popular in the U.S. market. He's not popular anywhere else. Okay.
Well, maybe
William
Germany.
and Brazil, maybe. I doubt it. Dortmund was quick to sell him, and if Dortmund is selling, you must know that there's got to be an issue here, right? And William and other Brazilian players are popular all over the world. So I think it's a different kind of thing, I'm obviously for going out and getting the best players wherever, regardless of where they're from. But yeah, Chelsea has had that special relationship with Brazilian players, just like they've had a special relationship with Italian managers, and that'll be our next manager.
Yeah.
Look, there's been a lot of rumors.
Did you see how he sneaked that in just there? Shift, it's your turn. Go ahead, say something.
Here's the thing. If we like it or not, marketing and making money is part of the deal. I think I've always said this. The first team to have an Indian player will be so big in India and with India as a growing market, that it'll.
Okay, so we're going to carry on with the rest of the discussion and so forth. No, I'm joking. Go ahead, Shiv. Go ahead.
Is this going back to cricket? This is
I was about to say that.
The first cricket soccer player.
No, I'm just saying that
because
marketing.
They did the movie in baseball. Did you see the movie in baseball?
Yes, they did. But the reality is marketing matters. Even if you have a player that's not great, if he's on your team, what you're going to get a fan base that's huge. Look at what Manchester United. Why is Manchester United the most popular player team in South Korea? Because of Park. Right now, every Korean just follows Tottenham.
Listen, Shiv, I think that's if you're able to get a great player and it helps you, like Heung-min Son for the Spurs, I think it's a great thing. United, they've gotten a lot of trouble because I think the decisions that they've been making is a lot based on marketing, right? Pogba is who wouldn't want Paul Pogba in there? He's a hugely global popular player on the Instagrams all the time. But it hasn't worked out on the pitch, and it's sunken United, right? It's sunken United.
But I think that's like scraping the surface of a completely different issue, like where somebody's locked into some place he doesn't want to be, more or less. Like I'd still take Pogba by Chelsea. You know what I mean? Like if like I would take him as a player.
Pogba chose to return to Manchester United. If he had waited 1 year, let me tell you the story. If he had waited 1 year, because Zidane had told him, look, Zidane went from Juve, learned football. Even now, when Zidane is coaching, he harks back to his days when he was at Juve. 3 major coaches came out of the 90s Juve. Conte, Deschamps, Didier Deschamps, and Zidane. All three of them played under Lippi at the time. All 3 of them made their bones in Juve before going elsewhere. He said to Pogba, look, just wait 1 year and so forth. Stay at Juve. Juve were close that year. They played Barcelona in the final of the Champions League. Had he remained instead of, what's his name? Mini Raiola, his agent. If he had remained, he would have been at Juve last season as the man, as Cristiano Ronaldo was leaving, and his marketing and of a Champions League medal.
Fair.
Yeah, just like Eden Hazard. Eden Hazard stayed 1 year, right? Helped us get that Europa title, and then showed up 11 pounds overweight. And he's still getting fat. It's kind of sad right now, right? You guys saw that on the news recently.
Shift, if you could add something, because someone over there is trolling Hazard. You're right. You're 100% right. But this is not the time.
We still got love for him, right?
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I'm still trying to figure out my camera a little bit, so I'm in and out. I am really frustrated as an IT person who can't figure out how to make camera work.
It's really sad, Shiv. We got to be able to see you, man. Show your new haircut. Come on.
Seriously.
I'm sorry. I'll have it figured out next week for sure.
Who cut your hair?
My fucking girlfriend.
Ooh. Nothing says love.
She literally took scissors and went boop, 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 boop.
That's how you cut one's hair, right? With scissors and boop, 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 boop.
That's how my barber does it.
All right, gentlemen, this is what I'm going to do. We're closing to 45 minutes and so forth of the Zoom thing for the hint of blue cheese. We're going to sign off and then we're going to chat and so forth. So we've had our 3 subjects today. We talked about VAR and its implication over the next 9 games. We also talked about the possibility of which debated two managers, Allegri or Pochettino, who will return to work, first of all, in football. And then we added a hint of blue cheese by talking about Olivier Giroud and Chelsea's position, etc. On behalf of myself and all the presenters today, we had Dirk on the streets. We'd like to thank you. Hope you and your family remain safe and healthy. And we'll see you all in the future. Take care. Say goodbye, Haji.
Later. This was fun, as always.
And then shift.
Beijos. Ciao. Seleção.
Okay. I'm going to end recording now.